Right now, ahead of Memorial Day, how the military community in Verona is honoring those killed in action while fighting for our freedoms. Also, it appears the Milwaukee Bucks have found their new head coach. What we know about the man reportedly hired to usher in a new era of Bucks basketball.
I feel closer to an agreement now than I did a long time before, because I see progress.
And debt ceiling negotiations are coming down to the wire, with a June 5th estimated date for when the country will run out of money if no deal is reached. Those stories and more coming up tonight at 6. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Will Keneally. They are a symbol of remembrance for armed service members killed in action dating back to World War I. And people in our community are keeping the tradition going. Talil Mohadin joins us now to share how these handmade red poppies are helping support local veterans.
This all stems from a poem written in 1915 by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, a Canadian physician surveying war-torn fields. There, where many soldiers lost their lives tearing up trees and plants, he was struck by the red flowers still growing.
To serve your country is a big honor.
For Chad Churchill, joining the military was the natural choice.
My dad was in the Army, brother in the Navy, and my other brother retired from the Army.
So in 1992, he too made the decision to serve.
Unfortunately, I got a medical discharge during basic training for my knee.
Though his time in uniform was cut short, his commitment to the men and women who served continued with the American Legion's post in Verona.
The joy of seeing the people out there that served for our country to keep us free and everything like that. I mean, it's just so important.
It's the same reason Jenny Siftisted, whose husband served in Vietnam, has been with Post 385 for almost 50 years.
Back here at home, the veterans kept us safe, and overseas they did their job.
To show their gratitude, they're encouraging people to wear these red poppies on Memorial Day and help them raise money for veteran support services.
Community this year was fantastic.
The poppies, handmade by veterans, have so far helped them raise over $1,000, 20% more than in years prior, which Siftestad says goes a long way.
Surgical pillows, clothing, puzzles, car models, whatever they may need at the Middleton VA here.
And they say while there's a lot more that can be done to make sure vets are taken care of, the gesture is certainly meaningful.
It shows me pride that people are supporting it. I mean, it just gives me shivers.
The red poppies will again be available to grab on Memorial Day during the American Legion's local service. That'll be held at 10 a.m. at Sugar Creek Middle School in Verona. For those interested in doing more to support local vets, Post 385 is in need of volunteers.
So, thank you. Statewide today, flags flew at half-staff in honor of Navy Seaman Second Class David Joseph Riley, who was killed more than 80 years ago in the attack on Pearl Harbor during World War II. His remains were identified in 2021. Today, he was laid to rest with full military honors in Judah. That's in the town of Jefferson in Greene County. Riley was assigned to the USS Oklahoma in 1941 while he was killed in the attack. Look right now at traffic on the Beltline at John Nolan Drive early this Saturday evening. The Memorial Day weekend is always a busy one for travel, but no matter where people are going this weekend, the weather there is probably pretty nice. We turn now to Gary Canalti with our first warrant forecast. Gary, how's it looking?
Oh, it's looking great out here, Will, and it'll stay that way for the next couple of days through the Memorial Day weekend. Let's take a look at visible cloud tracking. You see just how few clouds there are around. Mainly some high cirrus clouds coming in from the southeast, and those will thicken up a little bit tonight, but they're not bringing any precipitation. In fact, Doppler track really doesn't show anything other than a few showers up near the U.S.-Canadian border. But with the air being dry, low temperatures last night dropped into the 30s across parts of our northern viewing area. Madison dropped to 40, but it was 36 in Lone Rock and down to 30 in Camp Douglas. Most areas were right around 40 or a little bit above. High temperatures, though, warmed up pretty quickly. Notice Camp Douglas, they're at 80 degrees. So, I mean, that's about a 50-degree temperature rise just because of the fact that the air is dry. Right now, temperatures are mainly in the middle 70s away from Lake Michigan, or even there, the lake breeze isn't as prevalent as it was the last couple of days. Here in Dane County, Middleton's at 77, it's 76 in Deerfield, 76 in Belleville, and 75 in Mount Horeb. Look for skies to become mostly cloudy this evening, otherwise temperatures dropping into the lower 60s. Not looking for any rain for tonight, tomorrow, or Memorial Day. In fact, I'll take a look at when the next chance for rain will be in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. A new era for Milwaukee Bucks basketball will begin in the fall with a new head coach, and it appears that we now know who it is. Andrew Banstra is here to share more on the reported hire. Andrew?
Yeah, Will, the Bucks found their guy, and even though he was one of the 3 finalists for the gig, he didn't appear to be the front runner. At least most people thought that the Bucks were going after Nick Nurse, who was fired as the Raptors head coach this offseason after winning a title with them in 2019. When it was reported this morning that Nurse took himself out of the running, ESPN reported that the Bucks plan to sign Adrian Griffin to a multiple-year deal to be their new head coach. For Griffin, who spent the last 4 years with Nick Nurse as the Raptors' top assistant, it's a full-circle moment. His first NBA coaching gig was with the Bucks in 2008. Since then, he's made stops in Oklahoma City, Boston, Chicago, and Toronto, and is praised for developing Jimmy Butler and Pascal Siakam into superstars. Before coaching, Griffin played 9 seasons in the NBA, and his son Adrian Jr. is currently in the NBA playing for the Atlanta Hawks. We'll have much more on this hire coming up in sports.
Andrew, we'll see you then. Thank you. We sent out a push alert earlier this afternoon through the Channel 3000 mobile app when the news broke of Griffin's reported hire. Reminder to download this app for free and turn on push notifications so you never miss a breaking story. Good news for the residents in the village of Blanchardville today, as a water boil advisory put into effect yesterday has been lifted. The village issued the advisory after a water sample from earlier this week tested positive for E. coli. However, the Wisconsin DNR says a test of Blanchardville's water from last night found no signs of bacteria. It is now safe for drinking and bathing. And Bratfest is getting a lot of attention this weekend, as it always does. But earlier today, a smaller festival showcased all that can be done without meat or dairy products. Violet's Park was home to the Vegan Sausage Fest, where vendors cooked up delicious and creative vegan-friendly dishes. From 11 this morning until 3 p.m., guests could try the plant-based foods, but in a traditional festival setting, with plenty of choices to pick from. Now, 2 farm sanctuaries were on hand taking donations, and anyone that donated $10 was entered into a raffle drawing for a $50 Food Fight restaurant gift card. Some sad news out of Milwaukee, where we're learning more tonight about a freak accident at the Milwaukee Zoo that left a 5-year-old zebra dead. Stuart the zebra was chasing other animals in his habitat when he ran into a fence post and lost his footing, leaving him with injuries too severe to recover from. Zoo staff are still waiting on test results to determine exactly how Stuart died, but he becomes the 6th zoo animal in Milwaukee to die so far this year. In February, Stella the jaguar was euthanized after some health issues, and in March, the beloved spring forecaster Gordy groundhog died, followed by 2 giraffes. Then just last month, a 26-year-old camel named Sanchi died, and now Stuart.
Sometimes they come in groups like this. It's unfortunate, but a lot of the animals that have died here this year have been very old, died of old age related things that we knew were coming. When we have a surprise like this, a disease or an accident, then it's just kind of odd.
Right now, there's only 1 other zebra remaining at the zoo, and the zoo says it's working on a new rhino habitat, which could in the future incorporate more zebras. Now, the TSA hit its highest checkpoint volume of the year yesterday, as millions are flying for the Memorial Day weekend. Roughly more than 2.7 million passengers were screened at airports nationwide on Friday. Now, that's a slight increase from Thursday, when the TSA reported screening more than 2.6 million passengers. That was the single highest day number since Thanksgiving of 2019. A TSA administrator said earlier this week the agency expects to screen 10 million passengers over the holiday weekend. Now, Republican lawmakers and the White House appear to be on the brink of a deal with the debt ceiling as they work through the holiday weekend and under a looming deadline. CBS News' Christian Benavides shares more on where the negotiations stand.
With 9 days to go until the government could default on its bills, both sides appear to move closer to a deal that would raise the nation's debt ceiling. Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy striking an optimistic tone Saturday.
I feel closer to an agreement now than I did a long time before, because I see progress.
As he left Washington for the holiday weekend on Friday, President Biden also seemed to hint that a deal could soon be on the horizon.
With regard to the debt limit, things are looking good, very optimistic.
Sources tell CBS News a possible deal includes raising the nation's borrowing limit and capping some spending for 2 years, while keeping Social Security, Medicare, veteran services, and military off the table for reductions. There's also talk of shifting $10 billion of new funding meant to ease backlogs at the IRS and using it to pay for other programs, possibly including healthcare and transportation.
This is not easy in any shape or form, but that doesn't back us away from it. You want to make sure you get an agreement worthy of the American public.
Republicans have pushed White House negotiators on expanding federal work requirements on some of the people who receive federal assistance, including benefits to help buy food. With most lawmakers gone for the holiday weekend, they will have to be called back to vote for a deal. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Experts warn that a default could lead to an economic calamity. The stock market could likely plummet and interest rates would rise, potentially sending the U.S. into a recession. Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6, a new target for scammers, homeowners, and renters. What happened to one woman after seeing her home listed on Zillow? And tonight on News 3 Now at 10, sharing our stories over ice cream, how local cancer survivors are keeping in touch with the doctors and nurses who helped save their lives.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
If you've got the TV volume way up right now, then you really need these. These tiny but powerful little hearing aids are the Nano CIC Recharge, priced at only $297 for a full pair. These are not simply amplifiers. These are ultra high quality, ultra reliable hearing aids, priced thousands less than other hearing aids. They fit right in your ear. Nothing shows on the back of your ear. Payments as low as $36 a month.
1-800-276-3995.
Big summer savings are happening right now at LL Flooring. Save up to 25% on more than 300 floors at the Memorial Day sale. Save big on hardwood, laminate, and waterproof floors. Plus, get 24 months special financing. Our flooring experts make finding the right floor simple. The Memorial Day sale ends May 31st. Don't miss your chance to save up to 25% at LL Flooring. From inspiration to installation, LL Flooring.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. A quick reminder, you can watch tonight's 7 o'clock Ford Madison FC match against Union, Oklahoma on channel3000.com, thanks to Television Wisconsin. Tonight is the first of 5 matches this season that will be streamed online free of any subscription. You can find Television Wisconsin with an over-the-air antenna on channel 3.2 or on Spectrum streaming apps. Also on DirecTV channel 14. Matches will be streamed on Channel 3000's Ford Madison FC page and on the free Channel 3000 Plus streaming app. Now, scammers are targeting homeowners and renters by listing fake ads online. It happened to a California woman who learned that someone had posted an ad to rent her house on the website Zillow. Kristen Walker says stranger after stranger began showing up at her Haywood Hills, California home, saying that they wanted to rent it. Walker lived there year-round and never listed it for rent, but later found it listed on Zillow. Looking at her listing of her own home, she said that there were already 15 applications with a deposit of $4,800. Now, Walker said that someone claimed her property as theirs and that the contact numbers went to a Google Voice.
My concern was, okay, is somebody going to show up at my door and say, I have a rental agreement and I paid a deposit and now I want in? I mean, it was a little concerning for me about our safety and just what was going to happen.
Now, Walker contacted Zillow and was able to get the listing removed. She hopes that Zillow can make its process more rigorous to verify who owns the homes. More local stories are ahead tonight at 6. The holiday weekend is here, and so is the hot weather. We'll share where the little ones can go to cool off. And Gary's back with another check of our first warn forecast. Stay with us.
Here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and have s'more fun. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's crispy. Anyone?
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. That's the value you can expect from Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
You got me. Tag. You're it.
Imagine a world with no drama. For the guarantee of high-quality promotional items delivered on time, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Get 4 Arby's Classic Roast Beef Sandwiches for just $10. That's one for now, one after that, one to celebrate the first 2, and one more because that's how many 4 is. Arby's, we have the meat.
Only at Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. That means your priorities are ours, too. Our retirement tools and advice can help you leave a legacy for the ones you love. That's the value of ownership.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Now get a new Ford Edge with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and have s'more fun. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's crispy. Anyone?
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. That's the value you can expect from Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Now, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start of the summer. And if you needed any other sign of the summer in Madison, the beaches are now open. Madison Park says that the city's 12 maintained beaches officially opened this morning, just in time for temperatures that will just get hotter and hotter over the next few days. And for the little ones, 3 splash pads, one at Cypress Spray Park, one at Elver Park, and a third at Rindle Park, are also open now for the season. And Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is back with our first warn forecast. Gary, perfect day to splash around a little bit.
Yeah, and the next couple of days will be just as nice. Let's take a look at the forecast for the rest of our Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow, well, partly sunny, warm, high temperature, 81, so a couple degrees warmer than today. And how about Memorial Day itself? 83 for a high, again with partly sunny skies, not looking for any rain either of those 2 days. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for high temperatures in the 80s for tomorrow, Monday, and for Tuesday as well, probably upper 80s on Tuesday. And then we could see our first 90-degree high temperatures of the season and of the year for Wednesday and Thursday. We've got high temperatures right at 90 degrees both those days. And it'll be mainly dry. Up until Wednesday will be dry. And then after the beginning next weekend and running into the first part of the following week will be dry. The only exception to that will be in the Thursday, Friday time frame. Just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm Thursday afternoon and evening, and maybe just a little better chance on Friday. But you can see on Doppler track there is nothing across the upper Midwest. The air is very dry. And take a look at the precipitation forecast. This is for the next 10 days. This takes us into Tuesday morning of the following week. And you can see no rain expected over southern and eastern portions of Wisconsin, and just light amounts up to about a ½ inch through the central and northwestern parts of the state. Really have to get back into Minnesota before you start seeing those amounts get somewhere closer to average, which would be about an inch a week this time of year. Drought monitor looking pretty good so far across Wisconsin, but a couple more dry weeks could change that and will widen out the view. And you can see not too far away, eastern portions of Nebraska, much of western Kansas under exceptional drought conditions. conditions, and the soil's starting to dry out as the air is very dry. Take a look at the dew points right now, mainly in the 30s across Wisconsin, most of the upper Midwest. 50s are confined really in a narrow band across the western high plains. That's where any precipitation has been. And with that air being dry, notice last night temperatures dropped into the lower 40s here, Madison right at 40, Wausau 42, but a lot of locations outside of the cities were in the upper 30s. Now, take a look at the current temperatures. They're about 35 to, in some cases, almost 40 degrees warmer. 76 in Madison, 80 in Des Moines, 83 in the Twin Cities. And you can see on Weather Track, just some cirrus clouds coming in from the southeast. Those will thicken up a little bit tonight, but all that will do is just keep temperatures up a bit, not seeing any precipitation with it. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity has been out to the west in the vicinity of a stationary front. And as long as that front stays to the north and west, our chances for rain are very, very low. Planning your night across Dane County. Low 51 in Fitchburg, 51 Sun Prairie, 48 in Deerfield with mostly cloudy skies. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, low temperature 44 in Camp Douglas, 48 in Baraboo, and 52 in La Crosse. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 81 degrees with partly sunny skies, and we'll see just about the same story for Memorial Day Monday. High temperature of 83 degrees. Our first warned 7 to 10 day forecast, see temperatures climbing up into the upper 80s on Tuesday, around 90 for Wednesday and Thursday. Again, just a slight chance for an evening shower or thunderstorm on Thursday, Friday, maybe a little better chance, and then temperatures drop off a little bit, but still are very comfortable. And again, the dry weather returns for next weekend and beyond.
So, Gary, I know we had some flooding earlier in the season. Lake levels, are they back down to kind of normal?
Yeah, Madison lakes are down. The Mississippi River, of course, and parts of the Wisconsin River were at flood stage, but those have dropped below flood stage, and they'll continue to drop as long as it stays like this.
Well, good. Glad to hear. Still ahead tonight, the local golf legend has a star-studded day on the links. We'll see what he shot coming up next in Sports with Andrew.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hang on tight, Wisconsin, because fun just got a lot faster. It's Fast Play from the Wisconsin Lottery, an all-new style of lotto games that combine instant wins with the progressive jackpot. Playing is easy at any lottery retailer. Just print, play, and know if you're a winner instantly. The progressive jackpot starts at $10,000 and grows with each ticket sold. The share of the jackpot increases with the price of the ticket. Fast Play is available now, only at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
Here's your parachute.
Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Need life insurance? Select Quote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And Select Quote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Select Quote. We shop, you save.
In 1930, we began helping people in Milwaukee who were hurt and killed by the carelessness of others. For more than 90 years, the awards for our clients totals well into the billions of dollars, probably more than all the other personal injury firms in the state combined. When entering a negotiation, it helps to have that reputation on your side. We have the talent and resources to take on the big corporations. For regular people all over Wisconsin. Habish, Habish & Rotier, national reputation, hometown service.
Big summer savings are happening right now at LL Flooring. Save up to 25% on more than 300 floors at the Memorial Day sale. Save big on hardwood, laminate, and waterproof floors. Plus, get 24 months special financing. Our flooring experts make finding the right floor simple. The Memorial Day sale ends May 31st. Don't miss your chance to save up to 25% at LL Flooring. From inspiration to installation, LL Flooring.
News 3 Now is taking action to find and deliver the news stories that matter where you live.
Taking action to uncover the truth, getting answers, and finding solutions that can make an impact in your life and our community where we all live.
Taking action for South Central Wisconsin. News 3 Now.
Well, it was reported this morning that the Milwaukee Bucks have found their new head coach. Adrian Griffin this morning was hired, or reportedly hired, as the Bucks' new coach. Griffin, who played 9 seasons in the NBA, spent the last 4 years as the Toronto Raptors' top assistant, winning a title up north in 2019. Now, Griffin, alongside his old boss, former Toronto Raptors head coach Nick Nurse, were among the finalists for this job. But after it was reported this morning that Nurse took himself out of the running, the Bucks reportedly finalized a multi-year deal with Griffin. He's a first-time head coach, but presumably got Giannis's stamp of approval. The Greek Freak met with each of the coaching candidates. Bucks top brass was reportedly impressed with Griffin's leadership style and defensive-minded approach. Not to mention, he's familiar with the Bucks, who he started his coaching career with back in 2008. To the links where Steve Stricker battles in the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship, the pride of Edgerton turned it on into high gear on the back 9. Here's a birdie on 14 after he got one on 13 as well. And now let's go to 15. Strick sinks the putt. How about 8 birdies in his last 18 holes today? What a day for Strick. That brings him to 15 under heading into the final day of the event, trailing the leader by just 1 shot. And Forward Madison is back on the pitch tonight in Omaha, and for the first time ever, we will be carrying it right here on Television Wisconsin and on Channel 3000+. The Mingos match up with Union Omaha tonight. The teams are separated in the USL 1 standings by just a half game. Scary moment in the Brewers game last night when a foul ball struck Willie Adames in the face. Adames was taken to the hospital overnight and remained awake and without any fractures. The crew today placed him on the 7-day concussion list. Speaking of the Brewers, they're trying to get back on track after losing the first 2 games of this series. Bottom of the 7th, crew trail 1-0, and Victor Caratini rips a rocket to right. That'll score Bryce Terang to tie the game at 1 apiece. But in the 8th, the Giant get theirs back. Mitch Haniger goes deep to straightaway center to give San Fran a pair of runs, and they never looked back. Giants win this one, 3-1, the final. Madison College is back in action tonight at the NJCAA D2 World Series. They start the double elimination tournament against St. John's River State College. If they win tonight, they play on Monday. A loss will put them back on the field tomorrow. And guys, you got to hear about this. Staying on the diamond, UW Stevens Point led UW La Crosse 19-2 in the 5th inning of their super regional game. And then UW La Crosse scored 18 straight runs to lead 20-19 heading into the 9th inning when Stevens Point scores another 5 runs, 24-20, the final. I mean, that's a football score.
I was going to say, that looks much more like a football score.
Unbelievable.
It was 10 runs in what, like the 5th inning or something?
Yeah, 10 runs in the 5th. I mean, one of the craziest box scores I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and it sounded like a good weather out there for that game.
It's good weather for baseball. It's good weather for football. It's good weather for soccer. You name it. It's going to be a really nice rest of the holiday weekend. Live view from the WISC-TV Skycam. Hazy sunshine out there. Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Pretty much the same story. Just some cirrus clouds overhead, and that's about it. 76 right now, Madison. 73, Janesville. 79 at the Baraboo Dells Airport here in Dane County. 77, Middleton. 75 in Oregon, and 76 degrees in McFarland. Look for temperatures to drop off into the lower 60s by late evening, but no rain expected for the rest of the weekend.
Well, and thanks for joining us. We hope to see you back here for tonight at 10.